Hello, it's Joe here for Joyrider TV, and yes, it's a nice day in Vasiliki, and yes, I'm going out solo on the 16 with the real sails. Ooh yeah! Okay, so we're on board the 16. Seeing about putting the rudders down. Got the stick in the wrong place. Okay. So yes, it's Joe here for Joyrider TV, of course, as you thought. The wind has just changed, so I'd say we've probably got something like 10 knots of wind, but maybe increasing a bit throughout the session. The water here is really shallow, so I'm just trying to get forwards a bit just while we go across slowly. Just hoping that we could keep the rudders down. The seabed here is all sand, so if we do hit the bottom, it's not a big drama. We just have to put the rudders down again. So on a 16 especially, but anything, if you're going over a shallow bit and it's not absolute nosebleed, you can just get further forwards, and then hopefully your rudders will clear the bottom. Right, I'm just going for a quick trip up to the front. Just going to sort the forestay out. There we go. I wasn't happy with that. Okay, and then the downhaul, I'm going to put it on pretty hard, because with the 16 we do want, as soon as it's trapezing conditions, we want to get the downhaul on pretty hard, just to flatten the sail off, because we are having to depower the 16 fairly early in terms of wind strength. As soon as you're trapezing, or definitely, oh, we're going backwards, rudders on the wrong side. Okay, yeah, okay, now I'm going to bring the jib in. First time sailing with the full rig for a bit. And we're going to go out with an objective. I think while the wind is still, let's call it a little bit light, we're going to go out and do some practice tacking and jibing. Let's aim for 15 tacks, and we'll troubleshoot like we did with the Hobie 14, which I think would be nice. So I'm just going to go downwind first to get a bit of space. Now, because of the way that I've got the camera, this one, mounted, means I can't actually use the jib traveller when we're on port tack. So the jib traveller will just be in case anybody's worried. That is what is going on. Okay, yeah, so we're not quite on a broad reach, more on just down of a beam reach. The wind is sort of cross on, so kind of like that's our direction at the moment, but that of course could change. So what we'll do is we'll get going. Actually, how could I forget? Turn the GPS on. All right, let's just park up there for a sec. Just going to reset the GPS. Today I'm using the Locosys GW60, which is a good one because it gives you the stats. So I'm just deleting all the old information. And there we are, ready to roll. And the GPS doesn't start unless we get 10 knots. So less than 10 knots, we're not even going to talk about it. We've got the jib traveller on this side set all the way out. Perhaps that is a little bit much, so we'll set that at about halfway, because we're single-handed. If we were sailing with two people in this breeze, then probably have it all the way in. Okay, are we ready? If you're ready, put it in the comments below. Yeah, I'm ready. Okay, sheeting in, getting into a nice position on the boat. To start with, there is wind, so I'm going to go out onto the trapeze, going back foot first. It's just my favoured style. Means you don't have to use your hands going out. Okay, and then on the upwind, we're just watching the jib, watching the telltales on the jib. Jib's in tight, and with this wind, we just want the inside telltale lifting a bit, which we've got. Now we've got a gust coming over here, so what we'll do is we'll get that gust and then we'll tack, and that should mean we'll get the gust on the other tack, which will be nice. So going for the tack, going to tack from the trapeze. So coming in on the knees, jib's backed, going across under the boom. Now we've got to sort the jib out. This is what's gonna slow us a bit in the exits. Okay, and then main comes back in, get hooked on, and just wait for the pressure so we can get out onto the trapeze. Of course, we've got a bit of a asymmetric camera angle today, which is due to one-sided stick cam. We're just pointing a little bit too high there. So I thought that tack wasn't too bad, but I'm sure we could improve upon it. Everything sort of happened a bit too quickly. So I think this time what I'm gonna do is just ease the jib off. In fact, I'm going to try having the jib uncleated going into the tack. This is going to be controversial, I know. So here we go, tack number 2, and here we go. Okay, we did ease a bit of sheet coming in there, pushing the boom up a bit as we go under. See, the 16's slotted through. There was enough friction in the jib sheet that meant the jib still pushed us through a little bit. But of course, then we had one less thing to do on the new side when we came through. Woohoo, flying a hole. Oh yeah. We're rolling with the Zero shoes, Colorados of course. These are the most versatile hot weather shoes I've ever come across in my life. Yes, they're quite expensive, but yes, you should get some. Check out the link in the description. All right, going for another tack, sheeting in hard. Gonna uncleat the jib, and then the friction will just stop that from going out. Now we're ready, got a bit of sheet off the back, and in we come onto the buttocks that time. She's gone through, try to keep the rudders over, got the main sheet caught on the casting. Oh no, so main sheet caught on the casting equals fail. We've stopped. We haven't stalled because all I have to do there is pull the jib in and we're through. But certainly wasn't smooth. Okay, so going out on the trapeze, back foot first, sheeting in, and we're off. Very nice. Okay, I think we'll go for another one pretty soon. So while I'm out here, if I want to get hold of the jib sheet, it's a little bit far in at the moment, so I'm just going to step down onto the hull, bend the knees. Main sheet is in the same hand as the stick, but I've got it uncleated. Now I can pull the jib sheet out to the side. I'm going to uncleat the jib sheet. I'm definitely a fan of this uncleated jib for the solo tacking. Okay, and this time what should we go for? We'll go for it onto the knees from the trapeze. That rhymes. Actually no, I'm feeling the sitting, so I'm going to have more control over the rudders this time, trying to keep the rudders over till we're through. Okay, jib coming in, quite a lot of sheets pulling there, main pulling in as we start to move forwards. So trapezing, I'm hanging in the harness, hand on the stick, hand on the main sheet. Most important thing is to focus on steering the boat. So as I move out, I'm still just concentrating on the steering. Back foot is on the side now. Those yoga lessons really paying off. And then, so there was no shake of the steering as we went out there. Nice. Okay, we'll go for a different style tack. We'll go for one of my favorites, which good for the flat water, but in waves, I think it could be a bit of a circus is in town kind of activity, and that's going to be the stand up. All right, so dumping the jib before the tack, sheeting in a bit, and for this one, bit of a gust coming. I'll just get into that gust first. For this one, I'm actually going to step on the hull behind the trampoline, and then quickly onto the trampoline, getting the main sheet off the casting there. Just okay, again, another bad tack. Could it be that just today is not the day, or could it be that the technique is severely wonky? All right, the next one we're going to come in first and then tack. Okay, back out onto the trapeze and off we go. We'll just come in a bit to get the jib sheet out to the side. There we go. And in forwards and backwards movements on the boat, getting as far forwards as is feasibly comfortable here. Upwind on the 16, we do need to get far forwards because the wind gets underneath the trampoline, the weight of the mast to the back, everything's pulling the bows up, so we're just trying to keep the bows down on the upwind. Okay, so this time I'm going to go onto the boat first. Okay, just going to let the jib off, coming in, but just trying to keep us going as we come in. And now we'll go for the tack. There we go, she's going through, pushing the boom up as we go under. Okay, and that was clearly a much better tack because we didn't stop at all. Jibs in, getting hooked on, nice bit of wind here. Hooking on, pushing out, and there we go. Lovely. All right, but we should be able to do a nice tack from the trapeze. So let's try again. Maybe we should leave the jib in, but maybe what we'll do, this is an extra movement, but we'll just loosen the jib off a little bit, and now we'll go for it. So we're sailing close to the wind, tidy up the main sheet, and we'll go for it just there, controlling the rudders all the way through. Jib's backed, getting across quickly. The other thing with having the jib in is it could pull you over if it was any windier. Okay, so yes, everybody who's thinking I shouldn't have been uncleating the jib, you were right and I was wrong, and I'm sorry. It did result in a better tack having the jib just to pull the nose round that bit more. All right, but let's just do a control here and do another one with the jib out of the cleat. There is less wind here, I think there's a gust coming. All right, here we go, that's a good gust. But yeah, very high quality gust. All right, so coming in, just gonna focus on controlling the rudders, not moving across the boat too soon. Okay, going across now. We sort of tacked into a bit of a hole there. Does that sound like an excuse? All right, and this is as far upwind as we want to get, because up towards the mountain there, the wind's going to get a bit gusty, so we certainly don't want that. So we're now going to take her off downwind. We're going to just be sitting in for this. So we're just watching the tapes on the front, keeping those bad boys going at 90 degrees to the boat. Going to let the traveller out just beyond the tow strap. So a bit of a gust coming. So as we sail into a gust, these tapes are displaying our apparent wind, which is a combination of the wind that's blowing, the true wind, and then the wind that we're creating by going forwards, our induced wind. These are showing a combination of that. So as we go faster, we create more induced wind, which means we want to turn more downwind. And if we slow down at all, we want to do the opposite. Okay, so going for the jibe, going into the middle of the boat, stick onto the new side first to head down. Woohoo! Bit livelier than I thought it was going to be, hence the whoop. Now we'll just pull the jib to the new side. And we just want the jib to be really quite loose here. Again, watching the telltales. It's not so windy, so I don't need to be like sat on the back beam. All right, a bit more wind there, so I'm bearing away. Let's go for another jibe. So, gonna go into the middle of the boat, stick around the back, and we push, guiding the main sheet over the head. And as soon as the main sheet's gone across, that's the time to straighten up. Because if we keep turning, we're going to put more power on, and we want to get settled on the boat and look forwards before we put the power on. Okay, let's go for it again. All right, so into the middle of the boat, stick round to the new side, grab the stick, grab the main sheet, push the stick, guiding the main sheet across over your head, of course ducking at the right time, and off we go. Very nice. Okay, I think we've got time for two more. So if you're out sailing and it's windy, when is the best time to jibe? Best time to jibe is wait for a gust, if there are gusts, take the gust, and because you go faster in the gust, then turn more downwind there, and then once you feel like the boat is almost freewheeling, which is it's taken the gust but the gust's dropped off but you still have the speed, that's the spot to jibe, because your jibing angle is going to be smaller and you're going to be going faster, there's going to be less pressure in the rig, and so on. Okay, here we go. So going for a jibe, and there she is. Also, if you're out sailing and it's really windy, what you can also do to take the sting out of it a bit is just turn the boat back downwind a little bit after the boom's gone across. I'll see if I can demonstrate that here. Maybe you won't be able to see. All right, we'll go for it. Here we go. Going in, and boom comes across. As soon as it comes across, we're just going to tweak it downwind a bit more. But of course, there's not so much wind, so it doesn't really do much. So I'm just going to bring it back up onto the wind. Bringing the jib in, nice and tight. Got a lot of main sheet to pull in, so when pulling in a lot of main sheet, arm over the top of the stick, and then we can use both hands to sheet in. Oh, this is looking pretty good here. So maybe what we'll do is we'll go up to the mountain and we'll see how fast we can get it to go. Haven't got anything yet out of the GPS, I don't think we've been going particularly quickly so far though. There you go, 9.5 knots top speed so far. There we go, 11.13. Just notched it up a bit there for the speed stick. But we won't go on the speed stick. We won't touch that thing. Dangerous game. All right, so we'll go for attack. I'm just going to go for attack kind of like as I would without thinking about it. So bring the boat really close to the wind in this gust, reaching down the stick. So I've got the main sheet and the stick in the same hand, and then pushing. I'm actually going to uncleat the jib just as it backs, letting off plenty of main. Reaching across, grabbing the jib sheet. Rope management skills lacking slightly, bit of a gust coming, getting hooked on ready, sheeting in, hanging over the edge ready for the gust, and gust hits and we're out. And we're out and we're there. Very nice too. So I'd have to say it is an absolute treat to be out sailing in Vasiliki Bay. Just at any time, but it's really nice. This is great conditions for skill development. So it's not absolute nosebleed. It's kind of, I think we're probably hitting something like 14 knots of wind in the gusts at the moment, which is really good. If for example you're working on your double trapezing, this is the sort of wind that you want, where you can sail the boat in any mode at all. So you could sail it single trapezing, maybe just the crew out. You could sail it not trapezing at all, or you could sail it double trapezing, and each way would be valid. All right, let's go for another tack. I'm not going to touch the jib before the tack, we'll just go. So reaching down the stick, just going to focus on the steering. Here we go, coming in, turning, watching the jib, uncleating the jib, going through, sheeted out a little bit too much main there, and pulling the jib on the new side. Okay, I think that does seem like a sensible way of going about it, and there we are. Whew. Okay, I would say if it was pretty windy and there's any chance of the capsize caused by the jib being in for too long, then easing the jib off a bit before going for the tack is probably a good idea. All right, let's, in fact, yeah, we'll do another two before we go for some speed. Okay, here we go, just focusing on the steering, and in we come, and jib off there, going through. Okay, just pull the jib in before the main, and there it is. Gust coming, let's get ready for it. Don't want to miss any of this gust, and we're out. So I'm definitely sheeting in while moving out onto the trapeze there, just to make the most of all of the movements going out. Whew. All right, nice gust coming. We'll go for another tack just after we get that gust. Here we go. Got the main in really super tight there. Now, the main sheet is uncleated at this stage, by the way. Coming in, pushing across, jib off, under the boom. Whoa! That was a excitable boom crossing. Grab the jib sheet, pull it in quick. In danger of, we did stall a little bit there. Yeah, it wasn't very nice, that one. All right, we'll do the next one like some sort of choreographed ballet kind of thing. So yes, you did hear correctly. We're going to be open for business July 1st. And the big man has told me that the wind is going to be luxury, like a fine cheese. Look at that, even a pair of zests out training, getting ready already. Bit of well-deserved R&R. All right, so let's go for this choreographed ballet tack, and in we come. Push the stick, release the jib, sheet out the main, keep steering, main out a bit more, sit on the new side, pull in the jib, and it wasn't very good. Okay, hope you enjoyed that. And back out again. All right, bit of a gust coming. I think we've done enough of this tacking now. No conclusive results. Okay, so I've got the jib sheet, got the main sheet, got the stick on the trapeze, gust coming. It's going to be pretty short, but we'll see what she's got. There we go, just getting rid of the jib sheet, getting to the back, getting back on the boat. Oh yes, oh how I've missed you. This is so good. And the Zero Colorado's gripping like a monkey to a branch, if that's how we can describe something as gripping. All right, I'm going to come back up and go for it. We're going to run out of wind if we go down there much more, so I'm just going to go for one more tack and then we'll reach her in on the other tack. So maybe I might even do a bit of rotator cam there, just see how the view is. Going for the tack, got the main sheet in really tight and coming in, watching the jib, uncleating the jib there. Oh, lost control of the rudders for a second, but the fairly random sequence of events meant that that tack was pretty good, and we're hooked on. Being extra careful when hooking on single-handed, because what we don't want is to be the man overboard. So this is how we know if we're out when we shouldn't be. If the shroud goes loose, that means we've got too much weight on the side. Like there, loose shroud, I should really come back in, but there's a juicy gust coming and I want to be ready for it. Okay, so dialing it down a bit, just coming down, still got the Traveller in quite a bit. Nice, top speed 16.3, forged travel out a touch. Okay, and let's have a look. So when looking for the gusts, if we look towards where the wind's coming from, that is how we're going to find out. Looking down here isn't going to tell us anything about the gusts that we're about to sail into or that are about to hit us. That's all coming from up here, and there's not a lot coming. So I just broke one of my own personal rules, which is when coming in or going out, always have complete control of the main sheet, which generally means not having it in the cleat, because if you've got it out of the cleat, then it's very easy just to release it. If it's in the cleat, then you might have that moment of sheer panic, which, as we've seen in many videos, can lead to an early swim. All right, bit of a gust coming down. Have we got the speed to get out and harness this gust? Slowly coming out like a coiled spring, and here comes the gust. Can we hit a top speed of the day? We're looking for more than 16.3. Oh yeah, it's good. Just moving forwards and backwards, trying to keep the boat flat. There's not so much wind that we're risking the pitch pole. I think even if we went right to the, no, I'm not going to do that. Even if we went right to the front of the boat, we might stick the bow under, but the actual wind wouldn't pitch pole us. It would be the movement of my body weight forwards which would have us over. So there we go. Yeah, not much left in the tank for now, but what a great day to be out. Could do this all afternoon, except we've got boats to wash, so and videos to edit, of course, as is becoming more and more of a daily job these days. A lot of videos going out. There hasn't been so many going out this week, but that's just because been really quite busy with this whole preparing a fleet of boats job that I seem to have got. Yeah, so there we go. Happy days are here again. All right, so right now it's looking pretty much dead downwind to get to our parking space. Shall we do it properly? Yes, I think we should. So we're going to jibe. We'll just cleat the jib before the jibe so it doesn't go around the front. Just a jibe there. Very tempting here if we get a little gust to go for a little reach, but the gust isn't big enough to justify it. So we're going to wait until we're going to be just sailing on a close reach to get to our destination. So that's just up of half wind, as we call it in the Eurozone. Releasing the jib, releasing the downhaul at that stage as well. So that means when we put the boat into the wind, the boat will just sit there all nice and gentle and good. Okay, and here's our one featured sailor walking down the beach. His name is Vangelis, and he is very lucky because he's probably taking this boat out next. All right, popping it on the buoy, overshooting the buoy slightly so we drift back onto it. So getting forwards, ready to grab it. Having said that, oh yeah, here she comes. Grabbing it, taking the strain, and are you gonna get, and clipping her on. Could you just say hello, Joyriders?
Hello, Joyriders.
Yeah, that's Vangelis. He is a little bit strange. I'm not gonna take that away from him. But thanks for watching, and thanks again to everybody who's been supporting the channel. If you'd like to support the channel, then that would be fantastic. Just check out the links in the description below. You can even support the channel through Patreon or by visiting the totaljoyrider.com online store and getting yourself a t-shirt, a hoodie, or even a flag, or a thing for your drink, or a bag, or anything at all. But thanks very much. We'll see you next time with some more great action on Joyrider TV.